And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the final series of the broadcast. I do apologize. For I just disconnecting from that last game. I don't know what happened, but BattleNet can be unstable at times, and we just DC'd from BattleNet specifically, and with that, we missed out on the finale. I did give an update in the chat, but Solar did survive the 3-base all-in. He overwhelmed, he was able to build up a high enough Hydra count, and Solar does take the series. And with that, we have our final best of 3. Solar takes down Zaun 2-0. Zaun is eliminated, and Solar is up against MaxPax in a best of 3. And here we go. This morning, in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Danish Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Psystorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamma time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets. Place your bets on who you think will take the series, who you think will be the final player out of the group. Reminder, this is the decider match here. We already had Hero. Hero already did advance on and make it out of the group. We have room for one more. Either MaxPax or Solar. This is it. It all ends here and now in this series. In this series on Ultra Love. Let's go. Let us go. Now, every ZVP that we've seen out of Solar all-in. We've seen 2-base all-ins, 3-base all-ins, just non-stop aggression out of Solar. Last game, we missed out on the tail end of the match, but, I mean, it was a little bit different. Solar, he had to defend against an all-in. He was barely able to. He was able to overwhelm, and with that, Solar did claim it, did win it in the end. But now it all comes down to this, and we'll see if Solar can get the better of MaxPax. He has already. If you've been watching StarCraft over the past 2 weeks, you'll know that Solar, he has already beaten MaxPax in some of these best of 3s, but it's still typically very close, still very clutch, and I do still favor MaxPax coming into this series. I do favor him, but we'll see. We shall see. As our players are gearing up, it is going to be a Stargate opener out of MaxPax. Stargate into Oracle into our third base is what we expect out of our Protoss player. Beautiful. As the expansion does finish, behind this, Solar going for his own third. Hatch gas pool, into a third base, into droning, into our standard setup. So far, everything looking as it should. So far, everything looking solid. Sorry, I'm just a little bit uneasy about what just happened. I'm probably gonna maybe request the replay of the end of the last game and maybe do a replay cast, so hopefully everything is clean on YouTube. I might end up doing that. We'll see. We'll see. Smurge back. Smurge. MaxPax does move in. Gets the one drone for now. Gets one worker. Pulls away. Behind this, there's that Oracle in production, not a Void Ray, but an Oracle opener out of MaxPax. And it's going for the Oracle. Likewise, moving out. And we'll see if we can find any damage. So far, nothing here at the third. And going for the Queen, actually. Uh-oh. I mean, one Oracle can kill a Queen, and the Queen is going to go down. Nice pickoff. Takes down the Queen, threatens a third base, gets a larva, gets another drone. Very nice damage. We'll take a little hull damage, but we'll pull out, we'll pull away. And we'll save the Oracle. Nicely done. Meanwhile, do you see what I see? Jeez. What is this so far? Every Protoss player, Hero, Zaun, and now MaxPax have opened up with early Twilight Councils. Are we going for another 3-base all-in? Every time on Ultra Love against Solar? I mean, Solar did survive last time, true, but what do you have for us? Glaives? Okay, this time Glaives. Okay, this time it's going to be Glaives. This time it is not Blink. If you recall, Zaun and Hero went Blink. MaxPax is going Glaives. This is not an all-in. This is a macro opener. This is designed to catch a Zerg player off guard, to cripple the economy, and then gear up into 3 bases into a 4th as well. So there's no all-in, there's no robo, there's no warp prism, there's no way to reinforce across the map. Basically, MaxPax is going to warp in a massive amount of adepts at home, shade across the map, and try to catch Solar with his pants down. Now, if Solar does skip his Roach Warren, I'm going to be concerned. I'm going to be concerned here. So far, I don't see a Roach Warren, not yet. Solar going Lair first, taking his gases. He might still get a safety Roach Warren. He's getting Burrow, which is an interesting choice here for Solar. Interesting. Burrow's on the way. Oh, okay. I was like, what's going on? Does cancel Burrow. Lings are amassing. They dip in between the bases. But the Oracle will defend. The Oracle does shut down the Lings. Let's shut them down. Ooh. Likewise, Hydrogen is on the way. Here come the Adepts of MaxPax. And he will attempt to shade past the Queens. Yeah, does shade past. Remember, there's no Roaches to defend, but there are a massive amount of Lings, and they might just be enough anyway. Yeah, Lings, they get the surround, they lock down the Adepts, they do not get into the mineral line. At the same time, 7 probes go down across the map. Very nice damage here by Solar. Solar, he holds, he defends, he shuts down the Adepts. One Adept makes it through, does not get any economic damage, and now suddenly, MaxPax is in danger. MaxPax is in trouble, everything is late. Late Blink, late +1, late Robo, everything is delayed. And MaxPax, he needs to get some more damage here. He has 4 more Adepts on the map. He is denied that damage. Drones, they pull away in time. And Solar, he's massing up Ling Hydra. He has the 4th base. I believe this is just for Larva. Yeah, it's going to be a Ling Hydra all in. Queens are looking to move out. And it's going to be all or nothing for Solar. He knows he has the advantage. Baits out the stasis. Does bait at the stasis traps. Baits out both of them. So MaxPax is going to have purely Adepts to defend. Again, everything else is delayed because it had to do more damage. It had to do any kind of economic damage. It did nothing. It did nothing. It achieved nothing. Here comes Solar. So technically it is going to be an all-in, but this feels like a reactive all-in more than anything out of Solar. Copium. I don't know if this is what he was planning to go for the entire time. But regardless, he is pushing. Again, Solar, he is not droned. He's cutting workers at 57. That's under 3 waste economy. And Hydra Speed is about to finish up. On the horizon. Solar, he peels up. Oh. Headed towards the 3rd. Heads towards the 3rd base. So far, decent concave. Now he can focus on the main army. Up. And then mind breaking down that Cyber Core. They bust into the main Lings. They collapse on that Immortal. Hydra's pushing forward. Still an awkward attack here from Solar. The Adepts, they're trading quite well against the Lings, and they get on top of the Hydras. Yeah, the Hydras are going down. MaxPax, he's holding on. He shuts down the army. He shuts down most of those Hydras. 18 probes go down. That is a lot of economic damage. But MaxPax, he's defending as best he can. This is the best trade he could have hoped for. He does catch out all those Hydras. Very efficient trades. And Solar, he's deflected. MaxPax, he's holding. MaxPax does hold. Does cost him a mineral line, but as you can see, Solar isn't even ahead in drones. Like, that shows how all-in Solar was. He killed how many? He killed 25 probes, and Solar's still behind. Solar, he's still behind. He's still very all-in. Solar knows he cannot drone from here. He has to just keep going. Oh, the Colossus! Oh, can he get this around? He can. No shield battery, the Colossus. It looks like it may go down now. The boys are being pulled. Colossus does survive. And MaxPax, if he can get the Colossus here on the front lines, he can just run away with this game. It's going to be close. Hydras, they start to step forward. Colossus is somewhat exposed. Hydra's trying to start a step forward. They do start a step in. Colossus takes a lot of hits, but does escape. Yeah, does escape, does survive. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side of the 3rd base, the workers are falling. 16 probe kills. And Solar, he may have just done it here. Ooh, 22 probes go down. Yes, there is 2 Colossus, but this is critical damage. This is critical damage. Solar going for the expansion. He barely will get the Nexus. Ooh, Nexus goes down. Now Solar, he will lose these Hydras. The Hydras, they should fall. Yeah, there's no escape. There's no escaping for the Hydras. These are expensive losses for Solar. back at home, what does Solar have left? Solar, he has 7 Hydras and a handful of Roaches. Likewise, Solar, he's on 53 drones. Again, still a low economy, but at least he has lava to work with and at least is mining efficiently. I do give the edge to Solar, but it's still not going to be the easiest defense. Thankfully, Solar's making nothing but Roaches. He's building up his Roach count. Lings, they do hit the third. MaxPax completely all in. It's all or nothing for MaxPax. He's got 3 Colossus though and Force Fields. Yeah, no Ravagers. No Ravagers here. He has to be very careful though, very delicate with those Force Fields. Doesn't want to waste them. Doesn't want to waste the Force Fields. MaxPax, he pulls back home. Oh, Temple Archives on the way. Disruptors as well. Yeah, the longer this goes on, the better it is for Solar. Solar, can he pull this off? He can. Doesn't get the Colossus. Make sure there is no third base. Queen. Queen out in the open. Gonna get caught out. And there's no rush. The reality is that Solar does not have to push into the natural. He can just chill. He can back off. He can drone. There it is. For the first time in like 5 minutes, we have drones in the production tab. Solar, he is saturating. He's droning up his 4th base. He can take his gases. He can start taking up into Lurker tech. Into Hive, into Vipers, into Lurkers as well. Again, Solar in a better position. Just calm down, Pop. Calm down. Take it slow. MaxPax does move in. He's got that 1 Disruptor. He has a Nova. The army supplies are still very close, bearing in mind that Solar supply is inflated with all those Roaches. He's inflated. Solar dancing with MaxPax. Solar, he wants MaxPax to push deeper onto creep, and then Solar can set up a surround. But MaxPax, he doesn't take the bait. He backs off. Waiting for the Observer. Denying more creep. Solar, he's maxed out. And yes, Solar's supply is inflated, but this should still be enough. Solar should still overwhelm. The Biles. Ooh, they connect. Oh my god, brutal connections. Biles, they almost take down one of the Colossus. Solar trying to find a better angle. It doesn't feel good to be Solar to like push into this kind of army, but I feel like that's what we need to do here. Because MaxPax is catching up in supply. Never goes up. Never goes off. Up. Likewise on the right. Ooh, massive connection. Yeah, very nice connection there from MaxPax. Does take down the Hydras, the Roaches as well. Solar's army is split, and Solar, he will lose these Roaches. He will lose them. He has to get the hell out of here. Solar has to pull away. The depth counterattack does distract Solar. He pulls back with half his army. And MaxPax, he's holding. And he can still win the game with this army. Especially if he can engage this army in segments, right? If he can catch out a part of the army here and there. If he can engage Solar without his entire army to work with. Solar goes for a counterattack. MaxPax moving in. Ooh, a bit of mispathing there. Solar, he bleeds out 4 Roaches. At the same time, he will shut down the 3rd. MaxPax, he likewise takes down the 3rd base of Solar. Expansion is going to go down. Ooh, Lurkers have arrived. And this is the nail in the coffin here. What is the answer to the Lurkers? A ground army gonna push in. The Vipers! Could go for the Yoink, could go for the Abduct. 3rd base goes down, and MaxPax, he cannot push in. He cannot push in. He cannot do anything about these Lurkers. The Hydra Lurker Viper army is finally here. If this was still just a maxed out army of Roach, Hydra, Ravager, then MaxPax could win this game. But it isn't. It's Hive Tech. Solar, he's successfully gotten into Hive Tech. And it's not going to be pretty seeing MaxPax push into all these Lurkers, because it eventually has to happen. He has to push into these Lurkers to break Solar. Once again, catches out Roach Hydra. A lot of Roach Hydra does go down. Nice pickoffs. See MaxPax clearing up more creep. There's a lurker harassing across the map. Here comes the Yoinks. Gets one. Gets one Archon. And it gets up. Oh, it doesn't get anything else. Nice feedback. Nova here on the main army. And lurkers are moving in, and MaxPax, he has to commit. Has to commit to the fight. He will lose everything. Lurkers, they burrow. The Protoss army gets deleted. And Solar, he will shut this down. Solar, he will kick things off with a win, cleaning up the army and taking a lead in the best of 3. Ooh, GG. GG, well played. Solar does take a lead. As a reminder, how did this all begin? It all began with MaxPax going for a glaive adept aggression, and remember, MaxPax got 0 damage done. This is how it all began. This is what prompted the all-in out of Solar, is that MaxPax, he went up to 4 gateways, he went into glaives, he committed into aggression. The aggression failed. He didn't get a single drone kill, maybe got 1 drone. Because of that, that did trigger Solar to punish MaxPax. It was very impressive to see MaxPax survive the all-in. If you remember, he did survive just barely, but the second wave killed the 3rd base. The second wave killed the 3rd base of MaxPax, and that was game. That was game then and there. MaxPax just could not recover economically. He could not compare to that kind of army, and in the end, Solar overwhelmed. Solar did overwhelm. Solar successfully did tech up into Hive Tech. If Solar stayed on Lair Tech, even though he maxed out, MaxPax had a good chance to actually win that game, or to recover and to win it. So thankfully Solar teched up into Vipers, teched up into Lurkers. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're getting into game number 2, and we'll see if Solar can eliminate MaxPax, or if MaxPax can force the ace match. Reminder, this is the best of 3. Best of 3. We go. As the game 2 is going to be on Errorhome. Ooh, a much smaller map. The map pool is a rush map known for aggression, known for all-ins. We go. We go. So we are going to be loading into that second game. And we'll see if, I mean, I feel like it's a guarantee that Solar's going to go for some kind of all-in, but from MaxPax, does he open up aggressively? Does he open up safer? It's on MaxPax. The pressure is on, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Errorhome, we have our South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Team Falcons, leading the series 1-0. It is Solar. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the red Protoss player from Denmark, representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. Here we go. As again, MaxPax did open Stargate into Glaive Adepts last game. The Glaive Adepts, they failed to do damage. They did not do well enough, and that did kind of start their first. So that was the first domino that fell in favor of Solar. And they will just tumble down from there. I would imagine we won't be seeing Glaive Adepts out of MaxPax this time. I would imagine. MaxPax does scout, does confirm the location of the natural. It's going to be the unnatural natural out of Solar, as he has denied his own base. But outside of that, hatch gas pool, standard opener. Nothing crazy, nothing wild. Go. MaxPax, he was in that longer than I thought. A big reason for that is that MaxPax, he did get into his triple Colossus pretty early on, and with that he was able to have like a solid like backbone to his army and like slowly build up. So yeah, it was really cool to see MaxPax like have a threatening army. And again, as we mentioned, even with MaxPax being down 70 supply, if Solar didn't tech, then MaxPax still had a good chance to win that game. It was impressive. It was very impressive. Like, imagine Solar without lurkers there, and suddenly MaxPax, he can fight well. He can fight well. He can engage. Lurkers did secure the win for Solar in that last game. With that, we are calming things down. Cybercore is done. We will soon be getting into our take of choice from the side of MaxPax. Speaking of, there it is. It's going to be a Stargate opener. Stargate once again. What's important here is the timing of the Twilight Council. When we see the third base, does he throw down the Twilight Council instantly? Does he go for a later Twilight Council instead? I wouldn't be opposed to early Twilight Council into Blink from MaxPax. That would make sense in my mind on Airhome, but again, we'll see. Our eyes are on MaxPax. As MaxPax does shade into the mineral line. It's going to be zoned away. It's going to be zoned back. It's going to be zoned back. MaxPax once again threatening a shade. It does get one drone, not bad. Gets one, gets not quite two. Gets one worker. Bleeds out in depth. A better trade for Solar. Solar does have the initial better trade. Third base now being taken. Oracles are moving out for MaxPax. And remember, we're keeping our eyes open for that Twilight Council timing. Likewise, we're also keeping our eyes open for the tech of choice from Solar. Does he skip roaches again? Does he not? Does he go for a faster lair? Does he go for an Evo chamber? What does Solar go for? So we're about to get into the mid game. We're getting there. For now, Solar does move out towards the third base. Oracle dives into the mineral line, gets 1, 2, 3 drone kills. Not bad. 3 workers go down. Oracle does pull out. And the links across the map don't get much done as there's the defensive Oracle waiting for this. Meanwhile, as the expansion as the Nexus is halfway done, what do we see? Twilight Council and Forge standard follow-up here by MaxPax. Now, he might go into charge. That is an option, right? +1 and charge is an option here for MaxPax. Otherwise, we expect +1 and blink. Meanwhile, as we're reaching that 5-minute mark, Solar, what's his tech? He's taking some gases. By now, we would have seen an Evo chamber, so we can rule that out, and we have confirmation. Lair first. It is going to be Lair first out of Solar. Now, Solar, he's quite fond of going Lair first into a fast Hydra Den, into Ling Hydra, into a Hydra all-in off of 3 bases. He's very fond of that. The other option is to throw down the Roach Warren a little bit later. Ideally, the Roach Warren would be lined up with the Lair, so you can start Roach speed as quickly as possible to go into Roach Hydra instead. Into an all-in. We'll see, as the depths are going to be targeted down. Getting 1 drone so far. Did I say 1? Getting 2. Only 2 though. 2 drones for 2 adepts. This is a better trade for Solar. Solar, he defends well. Lair is finishing up, and I don't see a Roach Warren. So we are assuming Hydra. So we're assuming Ling Hydra. Yep, there it is. Hydrogen has been thrown down. And the reason why I say this should be a Ling Hydra all-in and that we should get a 4th base only for Larva is because of lack of Evo chambers. Lack of Evo chambers, lack of upgrades, lack of longevity here for Solar. That is the reason why we're assuming that this 4th base is only for Larva. But we'll see. We'll wait and find out. See if that's the direction that Solar does take us in. Meanwhile, yeah, we have Hydra range on the way, so Solar is massing up his Hydras. Should be cutting workers at 3 base saturation. That should be under 66 workers. And Solar, yep, he's on 62. MaxPax does poke in. It was a standard follow-up, +1 and blink. Into a gateway composition. And Solar, he's almost reaching his final form. He's getting there. Just building up that Hydra count. Building up those Hydras, gets one Stalker. So far, the Lings, their job here, their role is to buffer. That tree's almost done. Lings trying to find a way in. Alas, there are cannons and shield, but he's back at him to defend. MaxPax is going for his own committed play here. No gases. Oh, I just noticed. Sorry, I did just notice. MaxPax is going for a 3-base all-in. Massive Blink Stalker into charge. No gases at the third base. Going for the proxy gateway. And MaxPax, can he break Solar? He needs to get on top of those Hydras. Does need to. Better cook for Solar. Very nice engage. He's out of Queen. He's out of Quinn. Baneliness is on the way here for Solar as well. Going Ling Bane Hydra. Baits out the stasis. And so far, this is not good enough for MaxPax. He needs more. MaxPax trying to transition, gets a fourth base. Temple Archives is done. Looks like MaxPax, he is realizing that he cannot kill Solar. And Solar, again, he's not droning. Like, he's transferring workers as he runs out of mineral patches, but Solar, he has 3-base all-in. Likewise, Lings, they do slip into the mineral line. Getting a couple of workers forcing defensive warp-ins. Stasis is baited out. Lings are cleaned up. And Solar, he will soon break out across the map. Solar, he's almost there. Keeping up with the Zealots. I'll shut them down. Meanwhile, we do see MaxPax actually taking up. Getting into Storm. Storm is on the way, +2 as well. MaxPax, he also hasn't been making probes. He's also transferring workers. It's just very committed from both players. Very tense. I mean, if MaxPax, if you can buy a little bit more time, you can get into Storm, but here comes the surround. Solar from behind, trying to collapse in the army. Stasis, ooh, does go up. And Solar pulls away. Solar, he pulls away. The longer this goes on, the better it is for MaxPax. As Storm is finishing up in a couple of seconds, needs a little bit more time. There's a chrono boost. And remember, we have 0-0 units for Solar. MaxPax about to get into +3. So better upgrades, high quality army. Storm is done in 3 seconds. Bailings, they crash in. Oof. High Templar gets saved. Here come the Storms. And he takes the Storm to the face. Oh my god. There's the third, the fourth Storm. Oh my god, massive connections. And Solar, he cannot keep up with that. Not like this. Is getting into the mineral line. The expansion goes down, but alas, it's a backup 4th base. Workers they can transfer over. Archons are now morphing in. No more Storms. And still a very close hold here for MaxPax. But he is getting some of those Hydras. Oh, gets the Archon. Nicely done. Archon goes down. Cells they trickle in. Workers that were transferred over towards that 4th base. Now still 16 probes falling. With these warp-ins, so these Hydras are going to go down. Yeah, there's no saving these Hydras. They're all going to fall. Charge, they shut down the Hydras. They clean them up. And MaxPax holds. He does hold on. +3 is halfway done. Solar still completely all in. He has not droned in a very long time. MaxPax, he also did lose 16 workers. But he's still on proper saturation. That's what matters. Is what matters here. There we go. MaxPax taking another expansion. Building up his Storms. And this is looking bleak for Solar. It's looking very bleak. Now, there is a chance if Solar can catch these High Templar, if he can catch them out without the Storms connecting with the Hydras, then he can still win a fight. But it's a big if. Like, he has to rely on MaxPax making mistakes. Likewise, MaxPax doesn't have too much support with the army either. MaxPax taking his gases, probing up. We do need extra warp ins. Solar, he rotates over towards that would-be 4th base. He's going to force a cancel. Yeah, there's no saving that 4th. Here, Solar. Okay, he's trying to max out. Splitting up his army. Sitting for a surround. And can he get on top of this High Templar? There's the first storm. Oh! The Bailings! They crash in, they get one! They get one High Templar. Did you see how low the High Templar are? But they survive. High Templar survive. Brutal storms. And MaxPax, he shuts down the army. That was so close. He almost got the High Templar. Casito. Hydras are trying to break through. They take down the final High Templar. Not bad. Gets the final Templar. Did cost him the army to do so. MaxPax being a little bit ambitious here. Going for the Nexus. I mean, never mind. He's got plenty of storms. Jesus. Plenty of storms. Despite that, yeah, there's a cancel. One signaling vein rolling forward. Forcing out the Archons, but GG gets called. Yes, Solar's run out of steam. Solar cannot break through, and MaxPax will force the ace match. Whew, GG. Very, very intense game there. Again, both players were basically 3-base all-in. If you remember, MaxPax, he never took his gases at his 3rd base. He threw down the proxy 7th gateway. He went for a 7-gate Blinkstalker all-in. Meanwhile, we had Solo going for a Ling Hydra all-in, only using the 4th base as Larva, staying on 62 workers. Likewise, MaxPax stayed on 63 probes. So they both just clashed heads against each other, and that led into a very chaotic game. Very chaotic, very close, very back and forth. Once we saw Storm finish though, MaxPax did seal the deal. There were some opportunities for Solar where he almost got on top of the High Templar, but like Storm is just so brutal, specifically against 0-0 Lingbane. Like against 0-0 Lingbane Hydra, like Storm just completely shuts that down. And Solar, he had no follow-up, he had no longevity in that game, he had no upgrades, he had no hive, he had no drones, he had no bases, didn't have any way to get into a longer game from there. That's it. All in. Was all in. With that, GG well played. Now we're getting into the ace match. It all ends here. It all ends on Whispers of Gold. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Team Falcons. It is Solar. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the blue Protoss player representing Sidestorm Gaming from the land of Denmark. Forcing the ace match, it is MaxPax. We go. Players do move out. And we load into Whispers. Again, Whispers of Gold is likewise similar to the last game, to the last map. It is a rush map. It is a rush map. It is very aggressive, very small, very exposed 3rd base, very exposed 4th base. With these exposed bases, aggression is favored on this map. So once again, I would not be surprised if we see another 3-base all-in out of Solar, if we even see 3-base aggression out of MaxPax as well. We'll keep an eye on them. But we expect aggression nonetheless. Meanwhile, hatch gas full, standard open out of Solar. Now, because the map is so small, Queen walks and Queen pushes are a lot more common on Whispers of Gold. So that is something to bear in mind. It is something that Solar is willing to embrace. Is willing to. Go. And from our openers, we should be seeing just Stargate play, like Stargate opener into Oracle. Just like the last game, our eyes are going to be on the follow-up, on the Twilight Council, and the Forge timing, if any at all. Likewise, whether Solar at 5 minutes goes for Roach Warren, Evo Chamber, or Lair. There's certain like moments that we're kind of keeping our eyes open for. Outside of that, everything should just be normal. Should just be standard. Hatch gas pool, saturating our bases. Adepts will soon move out. MaxPax will attempt some aggression. Solar should be able to keep up. There's going to be a bit of a dance, a bit of a back and forth between the Adepts and the Ling Queen of Solar. As Adepts do push forward. They move in. They shade in between the bases. There's that Stargate from MaxPax, going for his unit of choice, going for the Oracle. Oracle opener into a third. Again, very rarely do we see much deviation in early game ZVP. It's a little more rare. Adepts, they do shade past. They get the hell out of there. Oh, getting a drone. Gets the one. Worker, keeping up with the Lings. Second Oracle's on the way. MaxPax should soon be expanding. There we go. Taking his third. Expanding towards Solar. Interesting. Does expand towards. Oracle gets 2 drone kills. So far, so good. Adepts 8 to 9 mining. They catch out a couple of Lings. From here, we'll soon see the timing of the Twilight Council. Oh. As Adepts are going to be locked down. Yeah, both Adepts full for 3 drones. Not the best trade here from MaxPax. Solar, he defends well enough. And there's that Twilight Council and Forge. Standard follow-up, +1 and Blink. +1 and Blink on the horizon here for MaxPax. Losing another drone. Losing 2 more drones. Losing up to 3. A lot of losses here. I mean, the kills are slowly building up. It's going to be Lair first out of Solar. Now, if you remember, last game, we saw the same thing, actually. We saw MaxPax go for Jesus. We saw MaxPax go for Forge into Twilight Council +1 and Blink into a 7-gate setup. And we saw Solar go Lair first into Ling Hydra, into a Ling Hydra all-in. We saw this in game 2. I expect to see this again, I'll be honest. We'll see if he throws in a Roach Warren, but if not, should just be Ling Hydra. Should just be straight Ling Hydra. This relation does pop up. Do have our 6-gate setup so far here by MaxPax, and we'll see if he moves out with a probe. Because that is a lot of gateways. And he may set up a proxy. There's that Hydrogen, so again, it's just Ling Hydra into Hydra range without an Evo Chamber. And Solar should cut workers at around again, sub 66 at around 62. Should cut worker production. Getting his 4th base. MaxPax is teching. MaxPax, he doesn't move out with a probe. And remember, last game, MaxPax didn't take his gases. Here, gases at the 3rd base. So he's taking his gases. He's being aggressive with Blink Stalkers, but MaxPax, he's this time taking up faster into Storm. Meanwhile, Solar, all in. Solar, he's all in, 63 workers, massing up Ling Hydra. Solar going for the same build 2 games in a row. MaxPax is differing. MaxPax is transitioning a lot faster. Which means MaxPax is vulnerable. Speaking of, does lose a Hydra, loses 2. Oh my god. 2 Hydras go down. 2 for 2, 2 Hydras for 2 Stalkers. MaxPax does blink back, takes down another Hydra. Every Hydra counts. These are expensive losses for Solar. These are expensive. Storm has begun. And Solar's on a timer. Solar, he has to end the game before Storm. And can he pull this off? MaxPax, he rotates. Solar, he ignores the army. Going across the map. Leads out a queen. Back at home, there are High Templar, but again, they are exposed. And Solar, he might catch them. Might be able to catch High Templar. Heads towards the natural. Pushing through the center. Does hit the natural base. MaxPax, he responds, he reacts, he pulls back home, he's racing back. And it's all or nothing. Can Solar break through? He's knocking down that front door. Likewise, Ling Hydra here towards that third base. But so far, MaxPax, he defends well. Storm is about to finish. And with Storm finishing, I don't see these Hydras doing anything. Yeah, Storm on the Hydras on both forces. Oh god. The Storms are brutal. And with that, MaxPax, he defends the natural and he defends the third. He defends the third base. He overextends for a moment. Oh. Yeah, it does overextend. We'll bleed out these Zealots. We have more High Templar morphing in. And this is looking bleak here for Solar. Remember, Solar, he never intended to drone. He still isn't droning. These are transfers as he's running out of minerals. He does transfer over. And just like the last game, the hope here for Solar is to catch the High Templar. If he can catch these High Templar, if he can pick them up before any major storms on the Hydras, then maybe Solar can win this. But he's, in a way, kind of relying on MaxPax mispositioning his army. Let's see if we can pull this off. Solar setting up a surround. Rushing on forward. Yeah, coming in from 3 angles. Stasis goes off. Storm on the Hydras. Oh, the Storms are brutal. Yeah, they cashed out all 3 packs of Hydras. High Templar force to morph in. Force to morph into Archons. Solar, he commits. But there are plenty of Zealots. Yeah, there are plenty of Zealots here. MaxPax, he will shut this down. Bleeds out one of the Archons. But the Hydras are falling one after the other. Losses that alas Solar cannot afford. It takes down one final Archon. But here come the Warp-ins. Warping in 10 Zealots at a time. That's a lot of Zealots. That's a little Warp-ins. The expansion gets saved. And Solar, he's running out of steam. He's just running out of steam. Running out of army. Forced all the way back home. Zealots take it into the mineral lines. It's barely endurance to begin with. Overlord's getting caught out. And Solar, I mean, he had a good performance here to make it to the ace match, to make it to this final game, to make it to the final series here. But these all-ins, they can only take him so far. Only so far, but yeah, one final storm on the Hydras. We're running out of Zealots, okay. MaxPax running out of Zealots, the expansion's getting low. Good God. But the Archon shots are brutal. Yeah, they're just so brutal here. GG gets called. Solar, he's run out of steam. And MaxPax, he will take the series at 2-1. Advancing on and qualifying for the playoffs. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, MaxPax. He will claim the series. Again, shout out to Solar. Solar, he had a really good performance here tonight. Solar, he may not have won the match. He may not have made it to the playoffs, but he did make MaxPax bleed. Did force him to the ace match. So a very impressive performance there by Solar. But in a way, a little bit predictable. I really did like how MaxPax adapted in the ace match. Remember, Solar, he went for the same build 2 games in a row. But this time, we saw that MaxPax was faster to transition, to get his gases, and to rush into Storm. And we saw, as a result, a much cleaner game out of MaxPax compared to Game 2 on El Dorado. El Dorado was shaky, El Dorado was really tense and really back and forth and really scrappy. That's maybe a better way of putting it. El Dorado was a really scrappy game because MaxPax was also being hyper-aggressive himself. Here in Game 3, teched up faster, faster Storm, faster GG. Like... So much cleaner game there from MaxPax. It is difficult to do the same build multiple times in a row against a player like MaxPax. It is typically more advised to try to shake things up and try to diversify. Maybe Solar was hoping he would like mind game his opponent and be maybe like fake Solar out, sorry, fake MaxPax out, and be like, yo, you don't think I'm gonna all in with the same build twice in a row, right? Like, let me call this bluff. Like, MaxPax did call it. And with that, GG, well played. Congratulations. As you can see here, we do see Hero, he did come out in first place. Hero took down Solar 2-0, took down MaxPax 2-1, and Hero was the first to make it through the group stage. Meanwhile, we saw that MaxPax went down to Hero, but did fight his way back in by taking down Solar in that decider match. GG, well played. So we have both MaxPax and Hero making it through, and the question becomes, who will join these two players in the playoffs? Tomorrow is Group B. Group B is going to be tomorrow. One moment here as we can show that on stream. Hold on. I got you. In less than 24 hours. Bam. Beautiful. In less than 24 hours, here we go. We have the Wikipedia page. Exclamation mark B in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves. You can see here, Hero and MaxPax, they have made it through. That you can see them here in the playoffs. Hero in the upper semis, MaxPax in lower semis. They are here in the playoff bracket. And tomorrow, in 21 hours time, we have Group B. We have 4 players, 3 Terrans and 1 Zerg. Likewise, we had 3 Protoss and 1 Zerg in Group A. Shaking my head. It would have been nice to have maybe, you know, traded 1 Protoss and 1 Terran and had a more diverse group, but it's fine. It's fine. X. Clem, Kior, Shin, and Björn. A hefty group here. What were our predictions? I think both Yaku and I were... did we both go Clem and Kior? I think we were shaky on Björn. I mean, in general, it's gonna be a really close one. In a way, this is a diverse group. Remember, Clem, he doesn't play TBT. He does not play TBTs, he plays Protoss instead. And both Cure and Björn have recently beaten Clem's Protoss last week. Last week, they both took their turns and they both did defeat Clem's Protoss. So Clem's Protoss has been looking a little bit more manageable as of late. I would still say that Clem has some of the best, if not the best, PvT in the world, but Kira and Björn, they have been able to shake his PvT up a little bit, so this is not the easiest group for Clem. I think we still favor him, but I can see a world where he can be threatened by Kira and Björn. He can be threatened by them. Best of luck to Shin. Best of luck to Shin. I'm a big Shin fan, but I think he's going to have a bit of a harder time making it out of this group. Regardless, we'll find out tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be Group B. Look forward to it. And then next week will be the playoffs. Playoffs will be next week. So look forward to some more Rex March Madness. It's madness, man. It's madness. So we'll see you guys next week. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Again, a bit of a shorter broadcast. Only 3 hours today. I appreciate it. It means we'll be able to get a little bit more sleep later on here in the evening. Meanwhile, if you are curious, when it comes to our weekly schedule, we have some more StarCraft coming up ahead of us. We just wrapped up with our Wednesday broadcast. Tomorrow, we're going to be live with some more HSL. That's going to be tomorrow morning. Thursday morning will be some more Hispanic Star League. We have Rex March Madness Group B tomorrow evening. Friday, we have more HSL and the Podcast. Saturday, we have KSL and MSO. And Sunday, we have a schedule full of StarCraft. That's a lot of StarCraft, that's a lot of content, that's a lot of casting. So if you are interested, if you enjoy the broadcast, if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy the casting and the StarCraft, then follow us. Follow us here. Do follow us here on the CranKy Ducklings. We are live on a daily basis. Plenty of content, plenty of casting, plenty of StarCraft here. So you can tune in, you can follow us, you can support us. Likewise, and if you notice, we have a new Patreon goal. As you can see here, we have reached our latest goal on Patreon, so big shout out. Thank you so much to all of our patrons on our channel. Thank you so much for all your support. I'm glad you enjoy the content, and I hope you continue to enjoy it as well. We are doing the best we can. Patreon does support and does fund our tournaments, our regular events on a monthly and weekly basis, specifically Sparkling Tuna Cup, Masters 1 Open, and Sea Duckling Open. We just reached our recent goal to actually boost the prize pool of our amateur tournaments. So bam, you can see here that we have now reached a new goal for Sea Duckling Open and Master Swan Open, and that means starting next month, not this month, but starting next month, we will be able to, if we can maintain this goal, if we can maintain this amount of support, then we can actually move them over to the main space of Wikipedia. Wikipedia does have a prize pool minimum threshold to reach before they allow you to add a tournament to Wikipedia, and we are soon to reach that for our amateur tournaments. So again, it's a big milestone for us, so thank you so much. Our next goal is going to be 500 USD. It is a much larger goal here to once again boost the prize pool of Sparkling Tuna Cup. That final goal that we have is to boost the prize pool of our weekly open tournament for pro players. That's going to be for STC. And then I believe after that goal, we can start to pay the admins and start to pay the casters. We can start to actually otherwise earn some money from Patreon. Right now, 100% of the money on Patreon goes towards our tournaments, goes towards the players. 100% of the money, all towards the players. That is how we are currently set up. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Do appreciate the support. We appreciate it quite a lot, actually. So thank you. Thank you, Papi. Thank you. Yes, exclamation mark Patreon in the chat for that link. Otherwise, we are wrapping up. We are wrapping up here for the evening. As a reminder, again, our next broadcast is going to be in around 10 hours. In 10 hours time, we're going to be live with the Hispanic Star League Group C. Or tomorrow for Group B of Rex March Madness. If you see something that you like here, and if you cannot watch it live, check out YouTube, exclamation mark socials in the chat. You can check out our YouTube channel. YouTube, we do have uploads on a daily basis, so plenty of content there. So I know that it's difficult to watch everything live just because there's so much StarCraft going on, but if you're like, hold on, Hispanic Star League, that sounds interesting, that sounds like fun, I want to tune in, then check it out on YouTube, at KSL as well. I know that half of our casts are not friendly to Europe, and the other half of our casts are not friendly to NA, so, you know, VODs are the place to be. Like, we ruin our sleep schedule to be live for both time zones, and if you can't watch one live, then ideally you can watch something else live. But with that, thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We are going to be wrapping up, and we'll see you guys in 10 hours for some more HSL. Otherwise, thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao, hasta luego. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Hope you have a great week. Hope you, yeah, take care. Take care.